All right, in this little video, we are going to make it look like these broken pieces of glass or mirror actually have a thickness, because glass really does have a thickness. So it's kind of like using perspective, kind of like 1 point perspective in a way, but we're going to just kind of make it nice and effective here. All you do, the main idea of this is that anytime you want to make a thickness from the corner, you have to go vertical with your line. Absolutely vertical. So that's the main point. Even if you have to use a ruler to get those lines vertical right from the corners where it might happen. So we usually will have a mirror up on the wall, so we might see the underside of the thickness, and only the underside. If you see the thickness of this ruler right there where I'm pointing, that little thickness right there, you don't see the other side. You just don't. So you only see the thickness on one side. I've had students try to draw the thickness of it go all the way around, and it just doesn't happen that way. So from here, we're going to make a small line that goes straight down and straight down each time. I will have students accidentally do some angle. Don't do that. I catch that. That's what I look for, and that's what you need to look for. Straight down. Okay, now I would not do it from this corner because that's inside the mirror. This is where the mirror is. I don't do it from that corner straight down. Some people will go like that. They'll try to make it happen over there. It just doesn't. You can't do that. So we're going to make we can call them perspective lines or corner lines. Each corner is going to have one of those. Then either freehand, if you can make a pretty straight line, or with a ruler, you're going to make a line parallel, absolutely parallel to the edge of the broken glass. Absolutely parallel. And some of these will be a little thicker depending on the angle, and some a little thinner. So be careful that these two are really parallel. Use a ruler if you need to. Just slide the ruler over. And I'll do one more here. This would be a good one. So now check this out. I'm going to make a little edit right here. And this is what people do all the time. This right here, when this straight line goes almost the same as that one. See, they're very close to the same. And then when a student will do this, it naturally should be skinny just because the angle of the glass is almost vertical. So what I'm going to do is just fix that and make it so that little piece of that little angle isn't there anymore. So I'm just going to kind of cut that one out and go like that instead. When we start making the thickness, it'll help. See, now when I draw that line straight up and down, it does not almost match that one. So this one, straight up and down, vertical, absolutely vertical. Now, there's one, I'll have to put one right here because this line is outside, it's beyond vertical, and we would be able to see where that angle is. So I don't like that because it's almost the exact same. So what should I do? I can just let this piece go off, and maybe I'll let it kind of go out like that, a little bit of a sharper angle. And if this goes off the page, I have to pretend that that vertical line is out here. So the thickness of the glass would be just right next to it right there. Yep, that's right. If the angle goes over far enough, you're going to see the thickness of that piece of glass right there. And that's okay. But you will not see it here because that goes on the other angle. Now, to get this overlap, notice how I had to erase where this piece of mirror goes on top. So when we draw the thickness right there, it doesn't cut through right there. And I won't do all these, but I'll show you one that's finished. Okay, so hopefully you're getting the sense of the thickness compared to not having the thickness, and that's going to be required. And this one is the one I showed on the other video. You can kind of see I made this, the thickness on this is pretty skinny up here, but that's natural. Made it a little skinnier on this one. That's okay. I think it looks a little better when you make it like this right here, and just a little bit bigger. But don't go crazy on the thickness. You know, you have to think of what glass is really like. Okay, that's all you do for the next part, and you just have to do that with all of those before I remind you how to trace your portrait onto this piece. So you're going to have two pre-sketches. One, whoops, that's the wrong one. One, that was a preview. One that has the face, okay, and one that has the glass shards, the broken mirror with the thickness already applied. All right, there you go.